And now joining me on WION Newsroom, Kanishka Sarkar, who will give us all the insights in the world of business. And Atira Sasidharan will get us all the updates from the world of sports. We begin with Kanishka for the market updates.
Thank you, Diksha. Well, global markets are feeling the heat of rising Iran war tensions. With oil, that has emerged as the biggest trigger. However, AI-led boom, that's proving to be a silver lining for stock markets. First, let's put the spotlight on oil prices, which have surged to a 4-year high today. Brent crude crossed $126 per barrel at one point as tensions around Iran escalated. In fact, reports are suggesting that the US military is set to brief President Donald Trump on possible action against Iran, and that has raised fears of a wider conflict. At the same time, Washington is preparing for an extended blockade of Iranian exports, and that is keeping pressure on global oil supply. The Strait of Hormuz that remains at the center of the crisis with no breakthrough in talks so far. And now let's shift focus to the markets. Asia-Pacific markets, they mostly slipped today, tracking losses on Wall Street overnight. This as oil prices surged to wartime highs. And remember, the move comes amid reports that US military is preparing to brief Trump on possible military action against Iran. Now, Indian markets, they also saw a dip today, and they plunged over 1%. Both Sensex and Nifty saw a decline of more than 1%. However, they've recovered from those days' lows. Japan's Nikkei and Topix, they fell sharply, while markets in Hong Kong, they also edged lower. Indian markets, as I said, they crashed and dipped at open. However, they've recovered from the day's lows. Rupee too has seen a record low of 95.25 against the US dollar earlier in the day. Overnight, US markets were mixed. The Dow extended losses even as the tech stocks held steady. Big tech earnings showed a clear divide. Alphabet, Amazon and Microsoft, they gained on strong AI growth, while Meta, that faced pressure because of rising costs. Lastly, let's talk about macros. The US Federal Reserve has held interest rates steady for the third straight meeting, but signals from Chair Jerome Powell, were slightly hawkish this time around. In his final press conference, Powell flagged rising uncertainty from the Iran war, especially higher energy prices that are pushing up inflation risks. The decision saw a rare 8-4 split, that's the most divided since 1992, highlighting growing disagreement within the Fed. While some policymakers did push for rate cuts, others warned against easing too soon. Now, with inflation pressures building on and oil prices surging, markets are now dialing back expectations of rate cuts in 2026 itself. And that is it from business, and time now for some sport updates. And for that, we'll go to Atira.
Thank you so much, Kanishka. Here are the top sports stories we're tracking for you at this hour. We'll begin with football first, where Arsenal and Atletico Madrid each scored a penalty in a dramatic first-leg draw in the UEFA Champions League semi-finals. Victor Gyökeres won and scored a penalty for the visitors just 1 minute before halftime, putting the Gunners ahead. Julian Alvarez then leveled the score 11 minutes into the second half, again from the spot after Ben White was penalised for a handball. The Gunners were later awarded a penalty in the 78th minute after Ebrachi Eze was brought down by David Henko inside the area. However, that decision was controversially overturned following a VAR review. Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta was very unhappy with this decision and he was left fuming over the call. However, the tie now remains finely poised ahead of the second leg, which will take place in London on May 5th. Over in cricket now, Rajasthan Royals captain Riyan Parag has been fined 25% of his match fee after television's camera showed him smoking an e-cigarette in the dressing room. The incident occurred in the 16th over of the second innings when a broadcast camera briefly captured Parag using a vape. Parag is found to have breached Article 2.21 of the IPL Code of Conduct, which relates to conduct that brings the game disrepute. He has also accumulated 1 demerit point for his actions. Over to some on-field action from the Indian Premier League now. Sunrisers Hyderabad chased down 244 to beat the struggling Mumbai Indians by 6 wickets in the IPL. The hosts won the toss and elected to bat first at the Wankhede Stadium. Ryan Rickelton's unbeaten 123 over 55 balls powered 5-time champions Mumbai to 243 for 5. In reply, openers Travis Head and Abhishek Sharma put on 129 to give a flying start to Hyderabad. Henry Klassen then hit unbeaten 65 from 30 balls to help Hyderabad chase the target with 8 balls to spare. It was the 4th highest successful run chase in the IPL. With this, Hyderabad have registered their 5th consecutive win and they are now 3rd in the points table. Well, with that, we've come to the end of the sports segment. It's back to you, Diksha.
Thank you so much, Atira and Kanishka, for getting us all those updates. And with that, it's time for us to slip into a very short break. Don't go anywhere. More news and updates will follow on the other side. You're watching WION World is One. Stay tuned.